Salaam Alaykum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you today? Great. It's good seeing you. You ready to get started?
Yeah.
Anything I need to know before we get started?
No.
Okay. So we're going to start with your homework, okay? Do you have your homework in front of you where you can read from it?
You want me to?
I'd like for you to, but let me pull up what I can pull up. So let's begin officially by saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Very good. And we'll get into all of what it means at some other time, not necessary. What's necessary now is just to remember to always open up, beginning with Allah's name, or as I say, with Allah's signature, the things he signs off on, you know. All right, can you see that on your screen, or are you looking at it in front of you?
Oh, I'm looking at my screen.
Okay. All right, go right ahead.
What three words start with G but sound like J? Geology, generally, and generate.
Very good. No question about that. Geology, J, sounds like a J. Generally, again, J, sounds like a J. And generate, very important word you have here, also sounds like the J sound. So in English, we can interchange the letters G and J. How else can you pronounce the letter G in English?
In English, wait, how else can you change that?
You want me to rephrase that?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I can't. I just didn't. You said how? Yeah, just rephrase it. I can't remember.
How else can you pronounce a word that begins with a G without it sounding like a J? What's the other sound for G in English?
Go.
Yes. They call that the hard G. Say it.
Hard G.
Okay, so then what would the other G be called?
Light G.
Soft. Soft G.
Soft G.
Soft G. J, like J.
Soft G.
That's right. So these three words that you have here, geology, generally, generate, those are soft G's in English. Now give me three words in English that have the hard G.
Oh, not on here, right?
No, they're not on here. You have to come up with them off the top of your head right now.
Generation.
Generation? No, that's still the soft G. Generation.
Oh, hard G. Okay.
Yeah. One is a big bad animal you find in the zoo.
Gorilla.
Right. Now pronounce that word with that hard sound when you pronounce the G in the beginning.
Gorilla.
Yeah. Go. Right? Nice. Okay, give me two more words that begin with that hard G.
Gum.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And now one more.
Glob.
Glob. I like that. I would have never thought of that. Glob. Yeah, that sounds hard, doesn't it? All right. And you see some people chewing gum like, right? Chewing hard. My mother used to say, stop chewing that gum so hard, right? All right. Okay, that's wonderful. Let me see if I can find your next page. Yep. Here we go. I like this one also. Go for it.
Name four words that begin with J that have to do with groups. Japan, a country. This is Japan, a country. This is a group. Jail is a place where groups of criminals are sent. Jailhouse is a place where the groups of criminals stay. Juggling is when you juggle groups of items.
I love these examples. I would have never thought to use these words, but I expected that of you. So thank you for that. You did an excellent job at your homework. And for the audience that might not be aware, we're talking about the Arabic letter Jim, which has the J sound, Jim. So we're going to go on and push forward towards the next letter in the Arabic language. So let me take that out of the queue and put my notes in the queue. All right. You can see that okay on your screen?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay, begin reading the title of today's lesson.
Ha, heavy.
I want you to read the title here.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Unetics, feature-based letters.
Okay. Did you say feature?
Fitra,
Fitra. Beautiful. Do you remember how we described fitra? What is fitra?
nature.
Here you go. All right. So we're talking about nature-based words. And what do we mean by nature-based words? What does that mean to somebody who never heard that?
How it looks and its behavior.
What does that have to do with nature?
We are part of nature. Ducks are part of nature. Gorillas are part of nature. Other things are part of nature. Sharks are part of nature. Trees are part of nature. A pond is part of nature. Fire is part of nature. Soil is part of nature. Water.
I love this. Keep going. Keep going.
Uh, berries are part of nature. The sky is part of nature.
Okay.
The
Can I ask you? Can I ask you a question that might be a little bit difficult for you to answer?
What?
Name something that is not a part of nature.
A stuffed animal.
Where did it come from?
Nature, but technically it isn't. But we made it so in a different way. But it comes from nature.
But not directly.
Mhm.
That's a brilliant answer. Name one other thing that doesn't come from nature.
A pencil. This iPad, it took like forever to make.
Okay. So you're saying that things that are made directly or created directly by the creator, Allah, we call him, those things are nature direct. And you're saying that the things that are like offshoots of that, that people create or invent, yeah, we might call them artificial or something like that. So you're saying that those things are not directly from nature.
No.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
What about unnatural behavior?
Like when an animal has rabies, like a coyote would not normally attack somebody. It would stay as far as from somebody as possible. When they have rabies, they're sort of aggressive.
What about human beings? What would you consider to be unnatural human behavior?
Banging your head on a wall.
Wow. Keep going.
Uh, reading a book upside down. I mean, that's not normal. You can't do that.
Okay. What about being unnecessarily aggressive towards someone who's not even bothering you? Is that a natural human behavior?
If there's a reason, yes.
Well, no, I'm saying if there's no reason, if they just come up to you, just like out of nowhere, and they just start pushing on you, or they take out a gun or a knife and threaten you, and you just on the subway trying to get to work, is that unnatural human behavior?
No. Yes.
Yeah, it is. Because there's no reason for it. Everything that Allah created, He created with a reason, a purpose. You got that? So when we start to see things that people do that really have no purpose or no reason, like that person wasn't bothering that person, but the person came up to him and did something aggressive or did something violent for no reason, not any reason that we can determine. Maybe that person in his own head thought he had a reason, but as far as how we judge what's normal and natural and proper, that wouldn't be natural behavior. So that behavior, Mahdi, is working against the fitra. Can you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it works against what's natural, because naturally you feel good if you go up to somebody and do something for them, even if you don't know them, right?
Like open a door.
Yeah, open the door. If you saw a homeless person, what would you do? What do some people do if they see someone homeless on the street?
Uh, give some money.
Yeah. Or if they're hungry,
Food.
yeah. So that's normal. The person's not going to become outraged because you gave him $1 or you gave him a sandwich or something. They're not going to say, why did you do that? Because that wouldn't be natural if they did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because human beings like to be helped, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if someone does something aggressive for no reason whatsoever, then we can consider that to be what they call abnormal behavior. In psychology, that's what they would call that, abnormal. It's not, it goes against the norms.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in the future, we're going to be highlighting behaviors that human beings especially perform that are both natural, meaning fitra based, as well as unnatural, meaning non-fitra based. Now, I'm going to tell you something very important, and then we're going to move on with our lesson for today. You ready for this very important point?
Mm-hmm.
I got a bunch of them, right? This is a very important point. Whenever human beings operate against Allah's fitrah, they eventually cancel themselves out. What do you think that means?
Cancels themselves from society. Starts becoming arrogant. Starts to think that other people are just crazy. He's the crazy one.
So what kinds of things can happen to a person who keeps going against the fitrah?
He gets canceled out.
Give me some more examples of being canceled out.
Well, other than canceled out. Executed.
That's one way. If they maybe kill somebody and there's a law that says that that person can be killed if they kill someone intentionally. Yeah. So they cancel themselves out literally or physically. Yeah. Well, give me one other example of being canceled out.
Not to be interacted with.
That's exactly the one I was thinking about. Nobody wants to be around that person. So even though they're still here physically, they're still taking up and breathing air and eating food, but nobody wants to be, not even their own family wants to be around that kind of person. So in that sense, they cancel themselves out. And we would say that that's like a social cancellation. They're canceling themselves out from society, from normal people in society who don't want to be, because they're unpredictable. We don't know what that person is going to say. We don't know what that person is going to do. So nobody wants to take the chance at being around that person. You're making headway like you wouldn't believe, Mahdi. Let's continue now. So you see what the letter ha looks like, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I put the word heavy here because there are two letter has. One is this heavy ha, which you have to come from like the back of your throat to pronounce. Say it.
Ha.
Say it again.
Ha.
There you go. Right. And then we'll learn another one a few letters later. That's the
Ha.
like, ha. There you go. Ha. Just a regular ha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go forward. Read.
The arms when embracing and protecting. Mother's arms keep the baby warm and protected.
All right. So that's your first meaning for this heavy letter ha. It's the mother's arms, especially as she is embracing and protecting that baby or that little child or anybody that she might be protecting.
Glue.
Hmm?
The glue is protecting the child.
Oh, you remember that? Yeah, the strong glue. That's right. That's mama's arms. You remember that from the last lesson. That's beautiful, man, that you remembered that. So in this case, I want you to definitely remember the word arms because that has everything to do with the heavy ha, the embracing, protecting arms. And of course, as mother's arms goes around that baby, she's also keeping that baby warm. So the two words I want you to remember are what?
Arms and protected and warm.
Well, there are actually three. You're right. Okay, give them to me again.
Arms,
That's the
warm,
first.
protected.
There you go. All right. So if you wanted to explain the letter ha without going through everything the instructor goes through to explain it, you would just tell people that it means what?
Arms, warm, and protected.
There you go. Let's push forward. Read.
Ha also came to mean anything exposed constantly to heat, just like warm.
Exactly. Exactly. I want you to do me something, right? Put your palm next to your mouth so that it's facing your mouth. Okay, now move your hand back a little bit. Now go. You feel warmth?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right. That's ha. You see how, yeah, ha is in the fitra, right? It's in the fitra of your breath. So for as long as you keep breathing air, especially if you're breathing it very heavy, like you just did, it's going to stay warm. That's why when people are in the cold or people get stuck in the snow, the first thing they start doing is rubbing their hands together. They got to bring things together like that mommy is brought together with that baby, right?
They
Because
don't have they
hmm,
don't have ha.
explain.
They don't have warmth.
That's right. They don't have it. So they're trying to kindle that warmth, right? So they rub and they blow, they blow into their hands, right? So that's what brings about warmth. All right. So ha came to mean anything that's exposed constantly to heat. And the word heat begins with what letter, Mahdi?
Oh, heat, H.
There you go. All right. And this is called a fireplace, but what's the other name for this?
Hearth.
That's right. A hearth. All right. What other word do you see in there?
Ha.
Give me a whole word that's in this word hearth or hearth.
Heath.
Huh?
Heath.
Spell it.
Heath.
Okay. Well, you're skipping over a very important word, though. You didn't include the R.
Hearth.
Look. Yeah.
Oh,
Look. What's that?
heat.
What's that?
Heart.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to show you another important word.
Heat.
Wait a minute.
Earth.
Yeah. And now the one
The
that you said, you can get HEAT, heat. It's right in the word.
the.
Uh-huh. Isn't that something?
Uh-huh.
All right. So the earth is warm also in many parts
Earth.
of the world. The earth is warm. Why is that?
Sun.
That's right.
The core.
That's right. Molten lava. You got it. All
We got
right. Hey, you did have your ears ever gotten warm or hot?
yeah.
Yeah. So even your EAR can experience HEAT, heat. Isn't that wonderful? This is what we mean by fitra-based meanings or nature-based meanings for Arabic words. I'm going to let you in on a secret. Most of the Muslim world and most of the Arabic-speaking world, they don't know this yet. And guess who's going to be teaching them as he gets older and learns more of this? Take a guess. That's a Jeopardy question. Doom, 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 doom. is an 11-year-old boy who's learning these things, and the rest of the Muslim world doesn't know it. But this 11-year-old is going to eventually be teaching them this science. And I want you to give me that boy's name, Mr. Junior Learner Mahdi. Doom, 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 doom. Pardon me?
Mahdi.
Yeah, man. Can you see yourself at 12 and 13 teaching grown-ups what these letters mean? You ever thought about being a teacher?
No, I'm not that good of a teacher.
I beg to, you know what? I'm going to ask your listeners right now, your YouTube fans. I want you guys to put in the comment box whether or not you think Mahdi would make a great teacher one day in the near future. So they're going to be writing that in there. So when I post this video, I want you to go there and look at those comments. All right. We'll let your audience decide. Let's keep going. All right. You're wonderful, man. I never thought I was going to be a teacher. I was more shy than you at your age. Could you believe that? I came from a big family, but I was my own best company. I used to be in my room reading my books. I'd read encyclopedias, 9 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old. I was just in there reading, and I just loved to read. So I didn't need to be around a lot of people. And when people would come over, I'd hide under the table. My mother had to get me out from under the table because she wanted me to sing. I grew up singing, and she liked the way I sang. And when my aunties and cousins would come over and uncles, she said, Ben, come on, get from under that table. My aunts used to have to give me a quarter to get me from under the table so I would sing for everybody. That's how shy I was. And here I am, a teacher to people all around the world, actually, now. So you never know what Allah has in store for you. Let's continue the journey. Go for it.
Also heavy breathing. Oh, yeah. The lungs are warm.
Yeah.
Also heavy breathing. When the lungs are protecting the body by gradually returning the body to a normal heartbeat and temperature.
All right. So I just gave you the reason why people breathe heavily, because you don't breathe heavily normally, right?
You do it to calm down your heartbeat.
That's right. Exactly. So that heavy, not the light one, but the heavy is heavy breathing. You did some exercise, you ran around the block, you just got off your bicycle from riding up a hill, and you get off and you need to rest, and do this with me. Let me see you do it. You know, that's not heavy breathing, man. You sound like your parrot now. Come on, give me some heavy breathing. Come on, some real heavy breathing. You're laughing. That's not heavy breathing. All right, you know what I'm talking about. You got to breathe in first, though. Now do it. Well, I'm embarrassing you, but it's okay. That's my job. In and out. That's enough. Okay. Practice that. I'm going to ask you again next week. All right. So that ha is heavy breathing, and the lungs at that point are protecting the body. So you see how the idea of protection comes up again? Mm-hmm. It's the mother's arms around the baby. She's protecting the child.
Protecting the heart.
Exactly. The lungs are, in a sense, embracing the body or embracing the chest in order to bring the body back to its normal breathing rate. And you see the word heavy begins with what letter?
H.
And of course, the word heart. There you go. All right. And a lot of times, if you overheat the body, I should say, you can overheat the body by doing too much. And that's why you sweat when you do a lot of heavy exercise, heavy lifting, you sweat because the body becomes over what?
Heated.
There you go. Overheated. Very good. All right. Go for it.
Any area protected by walls, whether it is a fortress or a mother's pregnant belly.
All right. Explain those to me.
Like the generally?
Explain to me how that represents protection.
Yeah,
Fortress, walls, mother's belly.
fortress is like the arms of the mother circling around the fortress, and the belly, well, the mother's hands are already on it and the belly's on it.
Very good. So let me add my part. You know what a fortress is, right? Explain it.
For war or protection.
Yeah, that's right. And when the fortress walls are intact or in place, the people within the walls feel protected, right? And they can do things that they would normally do, correct? Okay.
When the walls are not in place, they feel they're not protected, so they start fighting with each other and do unrational things.
Very good. But instead of unrational, we're going to say irrational.
Irrational.
Right. Like IR, rational, irrational. Very good explanation. You get big points for that. So how is, first of all, I want you to see the resemblance between the profile of this mother and her belly. And then you see, and it kind of somewhat is shaped like the ha, the letter ha. Like this would be her belly, right? You see that?
Yeah. Wait. What about the the belly?
You're asking me a question?
Yeah.
And now, yeah, so the ba is the belly, but ha is the breathing of the belly. You got it? Yeah, so there's just the belly, but then this belly is doing some deep breathing like yogis do, or like if you ever seen a picture of the Buddha.
The what?
The Buddha.
Buddha?
Yeah, you ever hear of a Buddha?
Yes.
All right, we'll talk about Buddha next week. I was going to do him this week, but it'd be too much. Okay. But he does what's called deep belly breathing. And that's that breathing where you sit still and you're meditating and you're just taking a lot of air at one time, slowly, and then you breathe it out. So that deep belly breathing would be and when you breathe that air in, your belly becomes extended. It becomes like bloated almost. Even if you're not fat or anything, it doesn't matter. Your belly can still be bloated. You know who does this kind of breathing all of the time? Newborn babies. If you ever get a chance to be around a newborn baby, pay attention to that baby's breathing and that baby's stomach, because that's the proper way to breathe. We forget how to breathe when we get older, and that's why we have a lot of problems. But we have to go back and study the fitra of the baby's breathing, because when you breathe in, your stomach is supposed to become a little bit bloated. And then when you breathe out, the opposite happens. So let me see you do 3 deep breathings right now. Let me hear it going through your nostrils.
Okay.
All right. Just make sure it goes in through your nostrils. Now, you know what this is good for also? For calming down. If you're anxious or nervous or excited or angry, the best thing to do is just to go in your room, just by yourself, and just do that breathing like 9, 10 times, and it's going to help you tremendously. Okay. If you're in school and you're frustrated or somebody gets on your nerves, just excuse yourself, go back into your seat, go in the back in the corner somewhere and just breathe it out through your mouth. Breathe it in through your nostrils. Breathe it out through your mouth. So we're going to start doing some of those breathing exercises maybe every time we open up for this class because it helps. Well, I'm calmed down. I thought I was calm before. I'm good now. Just those 2 or 3 breathings. So you make sure you practice that when we're not together online, okay? All right, let's keep going. But you can see the resemblance, right, between this part of
Yeah.
Ha and her belly, right? Okay. And I don't know if you've, gotten a chance to be around people who are pregnant in this degree, but very often when they move just a little bit, they move around just a little bit, they become very, very tired. And they begin to breathe like that. They say, wait a minute, you have to slow down. You're in the supermarket. Wait a minute, I have to sit down. And they've only gone 10 steps because that fitra position and that fitra yeah, I guess position or condition is better. That fitra condition called pregnancy, it kind of lends itself to deep breathing, heavy breathing. And that's a sign from Allah in his fitra. When he makes women pregnant, he also connects that ha sound to their condition until they give birth. Then they go back to the regular breathing, the other ha, which we'll talk about in a couple of letters from now. So let's continue.
Ibun,
Hibbun.
Ibun. To show love, affection to the baby.
Very good. Say the word 10 times in a row, slowly.
Hibbun. 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 10. 10.
A few more.
Okay. Hibbun.
That's 5.
Hibbun.
6.
Oh, okay. Hibbun.
7.
Hibbun.
8.
Hibbun.
9.
Hibbun.
Very good.
Hibbun.
Very good. And in Arabic, if you see a word that ends with like a UN or, AN or something like that, all right, that's called a tanween. We're not going to get into that now. You'll be learning all of that much later. But it only means that if you want to, you can take it off. It's not necessary. So then you would pronounce this how?
Hib.
Yeah, just hib. Hib. Say it.
Hib.
Say it 5 times.
Hib.
1,
Hib.
2,
Hib.
3,
Hib.
4,
Hib.
5. Excelente. All right. And again, it means what?
To show love and affection.
Okay, so give me some idea of what showing love and affection is. Give me an example, a couple of examples.
Of love an example?
Yeah, of showing love and affection. I don't mind if you lean back, but I need your whole face in the camera. So if you can position your camera, there you go. That's perfect right there. If you can leave it right there. Now you can lean back and relax. How would you show love and affection? And to who would you show love and affection to?
Mother. I would
How would
feed
you
her.
do that?
I would hug her.
Yeah.
Make a sandwich for her.
Beautiful.
Um, give her a present.
Yeah.
Get good grades in school.
Now you're talking.
Doing work.
Mm.
Um, yeah, helping her do something.
Yeah. Something she might ask you to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, another
Do
question.
things.
Go
Do
ahead.
things without her asking.
Say it again.
Do things without her asking.
Oh,
Like
man. That's major right there. To do something for her without her asking. Now, give me an example of that.
like take back the trash without her telling you.
Yeah. That's showing love. That's showing affection for your mom, for sure. Now, give me three things you would do for your dad that shows love and affection.
Open a door for him.
Mhm.
Uh, close a door for him. But that really adds on to open a door for him.
Okay.
Um, get him something he wants
Hmm.
and do things that he wants me to do.
Such as,
Um, take the dogs on a walk.
there you go.
Uh, mm, like rake up the hay, fill up the chicken coop with hay, feed the animals, and water them. And
That's major work there, man. Wow. That's a lot of love right there. I think you covered ground. That was a lot of ground you covered right there. I agree. All of those things. As a matter of fact, most of what you said you would do for your mother, you can also do for your father, and it would still be love and affection, right?
mhm.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be mother or father that gets love and affection, but we should, do our best to make sure that both our mother and father gets our affection, receives our love and affection. That's beautiful. Oh, I'd like to see their faces when they listen to this playback. They're going to enjoy this. So that's hib. How else can it be pronounced?
Hibbun,
That's right. Hibbun.
hibbun.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to go any further than that today.
But it's only 6:41.
Yeah, I know. We're not stopping yet, but I'm not going to give you any more words. I'm just going to ask you questions.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
I like
Well, I'm going to ask you about other letters. How about that?
what do you mean other letters?
Well, the letters that I have taught you already, young man.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask you anything you don't know. I'm going to only ask you what we went over. And if you don't remember, then I'll remind you. Okay.
Okay.
And it's perfectly okay to not remember. I don't expect you to memorize every single thing in the letter and the concept and sentence that I've given you. But I do expect you to study it when you're not with me. Okay.
Mhm.
And I know you do because you're so swift, you're so quick with it that I know you have to be studying it, or you're just a plain genius. I'm not sure which one. Maybe both. Maybe you're both.
Well, sometimes I just remember this one thing. I just don't study it because I just remember it, all of it.
Yeah. All right. So
I
I'm, I'm
said,
gonna I'm gonna give you each letter that we've gone over so far, and all you have to do is tell me one thing about it. Okay?
okay.
You ready?
Mhm.
Say Bismillah
Bismillah
ar-Rahman.
ar-Rahim.
There you go. And then I want you to breathe in deep and breathe out through the mouth. Get that Buddha belly this time. Ready? All right. Tell me when to go.
Go.
Aleph.
What it means.
And
Support.
tell me what part of the body also.
Spine. Support.
Good.
Brain.
No, that's enough. I can't take any more. You're too smart. All right. Beautiful. Let me see if you remember which letter is next.
Bah.
Uh-huh. What is it?
Belly, about the refilling, and then the what's it called? Waist.
Take your time.
The belly of the filling up, and then the getting out, like a house.
That's right. So we call it filling up, emptying out, and refilling. That's how I want you to remember it, okay?
Okay.
Say that again. Say that to me.
Fill it up. You said
What happens after it gets filled?
it comes back out, but
Right.
and then it refills.
Exactly. Now I want you to give me something that's not the belly that does exactly that same thing.
A water bottle.
Yeah. Cool. Give me one more thing.
A house.
Explain.
Like a house when somebody moves in, and after all the people dying there, sold.
Do they have to die?
Well, no, they could move out.
Okay. All right. Wow. Just coming to find a bunch of dead people in the house. That's kind of unnerving, to say the least, right? So yeah. So that letter ba is really just a short way of saying what word for house?
Wait, what?
The word in Arabic for house.
Belly.
That's English.
Uh.
Sounds like what you use to catch fish.
Oh,
What's that B word?
bait.
Yeah. Yeah, bait. That's the Arabic word for house. Okay. So the Arabic letter ba is really just a short way of saying B-A-Y-T, bait. All right. And the house, as you said, it fills up with family members. They're being born and they have a family that keeps getting bigger and bigger. And then people get older. Some of them die, but not all of them, right? Mahdi, not all. They don't just all drop dead, right? Some of them die.
We don't know. I mean, they could all, for some reason, they caught a virus, and the virus is very fast spreading, and then it spreads to
Yeah.
everybody.
Unusual circumstances, right?
Uh-huh.
That's a very
Not.
unusual. Yeah, I mean, a fire could happen. Everybody could get trapped in the house. There are times when whole families or criminals break in and they do crazy things to the, so that happens, but it's not like the typical way that houses fill
Not
up.
Petra.
Somebody in that house give that boy a high five for me. Hey, Matty, just put your hand up to the camera. Put it back. There you go. A virtual high five. Right. Man, oh man. All right. All right. What's the next letter after bait? We did aleph.
Ta.
We did bait. What's the next one?
Ta.
Good.
Grooming of the hair.
You're on a roll, man. What's the next letter?
Fa.
And what is that?
Something. What was it? It was like it. Did it have to do more with the hair?
Yes. Certainly does.
Ungroomed hair.
You obviously don't need me anymore. I feel saddened.
Well, you're still hired.
I can still pay my mortgage. Thank you, Mandy. Hey, kid. All right. So ta is the hair when groomed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is put in their proper place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what did you say tha was again?
Ungroomed hair.
The hair when it's just kind of willy-nilly, right? It doesn't mean that it's a bum or nothing, no, because people have the hair. Sometimes people grow locks, and that's just the way people like their hair. But it's not groomed the way we would know, groomed, right? Kind of almost everywhere. That's fine, but that's tha. Tha means three or more.
Mm-hmm.
And what does ta mean in
Oh,
numbers?
three or more. I remember that.
And what is ta? How many numbers? What number? Two. That's right. So ta is two. You can hear, right? Tattoo, tat, not tattoo now. Don't go getting no tattoo, right? But two, tha, three. Now I just gave you Arabic and English, right? Ta, two, touch. That's two things meeting, uniting, touch. See, just two. If I say I'm going to the store, this is English now. T-O, to the store. That's
To
just,
go home
yeah,
to the
yeah.
to the
But that's just me and the store. There's just two things.
yeah.
I'm going to the store. Now, if you want to come, that would make how many people?
Three.
No, if you want to come with me to the store, how many of them are us now? How many of us?
Two.
How many of them are us? How many of us are there? Two.
Two.
That's right. And spell that too.
Oh, TWO.
Right.
It's very easy.
Yeah, it is. Because that person wants to go too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spell that too.
TO. The
Uh-uh.
TO.
Yeah. Now spell all three twos for me in a row.
TWO. TO. TOO.
Very good. Another high five for that one. That was smooth the way you did that. Yeah. Pat, pat. All right. Now, ta, two, tha, three or more.
It was about the like pigs. There'd be pigs over there, and you'd tell this person over here, and you'd be group number one. That the person you're talking to, group number two. The pig you're talking about is group number three.
That's right. That means that group number three was the third group.
Mm-hmm.
So we got TH, third group.
Third group.
All right. So as long as it's three or more, you can give it the tha, the TH sound. Tha. Okay.
There's three. I don't know. There's three regimes, three groups,
Okay.
and the G has to do with groups,
Okay.
and there's three groups.
Yeah. I get it.
And then,
Yeah. But let me ask you a question.
yeah.
If I said, those are the boys that were picking on me at lunchtime today. Those, is there a TH in those?
Mm-hmm.
Well, show me how that's three or more. How are we talking about? Where's this three thing in those boys were picking on me today? Count the three groups that are in that conversation.
You,
Conversation. Yeah. One.
you're one, I'm two, and those boys are three.
You got it, man. You got this, Mahdi. All right. Let me give you another example. What if I said, there goes my sister.
Mm-hmm.
TH, there, over there. There's my sister. How is that three or more?
you're telling the person right next to you about your sister and how she's over there. You're group number one. The person you're talking to, group number two. Your sister, group number three.
That's right. Otherwise known as the third person. I'm first person. The person I'm talking to is called the second person. And if I'm talking to the second person about another person, then that's the third person. That's what they call that in an English sentence and in an Arabic sentence. And it's utilizing the same thing, because if I said, this book belongs to me, that's TH in English, right? This.
This is right next to you. There's over there.
That's right. Now, if I was saying that in Arabic, I would use the word hadha. You see the TH in that? Hadha means this. If I said dhalik or dhalika, another TH kind of DH sound, that means that. You see the TH in that? So there's a TH in the English word this. And in Arabic, we'd say hadha, TH sound. And there's a TH in the English word that, THAT. And in Arabic, we would say hadha. Pardon me, dhalika, dhalika. All right. And what's the difference between this and that, as far as how close they are to you? Which one is closer to you, this or that?
This.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah. And of course, that would be further away, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, in the Quran, I'm going to challenge your brain, and then we'll be through.
I like when you do that.
Yeah. Listen to what Allah says. Listen carefully to the way I'm pronouncing these words. In the second surah, or the second chapter of the Quran, it begins with some letters. We'll go over that later. Alif, Lam, Mim. And then Allah says, Dhalik, that word we were just talking about, which means that. Dhalik al-kitabu. Let's stop there. That means that is the book.
You told me this before.
And let's see you scratch your head and remember what to say back.
So you said that is the book of Allah?
It is the book of Allah, but if that means that which is at a distance, right?
And you have it in your hand, because when you have it in your hand and you just look through the book, but you don't understand it, it's still that.
Oh my goodness. Did y'all hear what he's... I'm sorry. I need some air. I need some... Woo, Mahdi. Oh man, I ain't got no more to teach you, man. You wore me out today. I'm finished. I'm done. That's beautiful, the way. Can you explain that? Just maybe people missed what you said and didn't really, they don't understand why I'm reacting like this. So explain that again. How is it that you can have the book in your hands and you're reading, it says, Dhalik al-kitab. And it says, that is the book. How come it doesn't say this is, even though they translate it like that, but they're wrong. When they say this is the book and it is God, that's wrong. When you read that in English and when they translate, that's incorrect. The correct translation is that is the book, but the people who started translating, maybe they didn't understand that that was supposed to be there for a reason. And I think it takes a lot of nerve to change what Allah said into what you wanted to say. That's a lot of nerve, but we'll talk about that. I'll talk about that with your dad, right? So explain to me again how you can have a book in your hands, and you turn in the page, and you read it, and it says, that is the book. Explain that again.
So you just said that So you said that if the translators looked at this and they were confused, why did it say that is the book of Allah when it's right there in front of them? They they that's why it was that is the book of Allah, because they had it in their hands, but yet they didn't understand why it said that.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. I'm going to try to send this to as many Muslim leaders and readers of the Quran as I can find email addresses to, because I think they'll appreciate that explanation coming from you, especially at your age.
And then when you go to a concert or whatever you do, you take the book and you say, this is the book of Allah, even though you haven't understood it yet. And you're going to confuse everybody else. And they're going to say, oh, so I have the book. So this is the book of Allah. And it starts everybody to think this is the book of Allah.
Yeah. And let me tell you something about that before we close out. When we say this, we're talking about something close, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we say that, we're talking about something at a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you leave your house every day to go to school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So this is my school. You know, everything that's this is kind of around you all of the time. You know, so we kind of even take for granted things that we run into and the people we see every day. Hey, Miss Norris, you know, she's right next door. She's always out there every day. You leave to go to school, you see a bus driver. Hey, Mr. School Bus Driver. You know, these are people that you don't. I mean, you don't like in your spare time. You don't want to go see a school bus driver, do you? Like if you want to go out and have fun, you don't go out and knock on your neighbor's door and say, "Hey, Miss Annie," she's like 85 years old. You might, but you see her all the time. Is my point. She's
So you just don't really meet her much.
You said if you don't?
So you don't really meet her much. Oh, wait. I get.
Okay.
I think I go.
If you do.
Because when you're around your family, then you would say, this is my father. And when you're not really around your school bus driver, whatever, principal, you say, that is my school bus driver.
Right. Because they're at a distance or you're showing a picture of them, right?
But they're not that close.
You'll say, this is my father. If it's a picture, you can say, you know, showing them, hey, this is my father. But here's the point I'm trying to make.
You get too dark.
It keeps getting kind of dark, but it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Oh, that's even better. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. That's like a photo studio now. You got serious lighting there. I got to get me one of those. All right. Now, here's the point, and this is a good closing point. If you're going on vacation, you don't just go outside the house and start playing and say, oh, this is my vacation, right? You don't go in the backyard. Oh, I'm on vacation. No, you're not, because this is always here. But when you look at the map and you see that place that's far away, you say, I want to go there. I want to go to that place, because that indicates a place that's far away that you look forward to going to. You got it? You know, some children say, I want to go to Disneyland, you know, wherever they want to go, right? Or some people want to go to Hawaii or Puerto Rico or, you know, Morocco, right? Those places, they're far away. They're far away. And it makes you more, you anticipate wanting to go there.
Like with me, I think with most kids, they have the same idea as me. When I go to a hotel, as long as it's a few miles away, I consider it a vacation because it's so new.
Something new, right?
The place like cleaned up, ready to go. You live in it.
Yeah.
Stay in there.
Exactly. You're making the point. It's something that is not regular or not experienced on a daily basis or something. Even if you've been there before, you still look forward to going again, like grandma, you know, once a year, twice a year, we used to go to my grandmother's house in New Jersey from New York. And I mean, you know, she's not a stranger, but I loved going to see her, but it was only once or twice a year. So from New York, I would anticipate going on that journey to my grandmother's, see, because I appreciate her more because she's at a distance and I don't get a chance to see her that often. So I believe that that's why Allah is saying about the Quran, that is the book, because he wants us to anticipate, to look forward to the journey of learning the Quran.
It's a new book to you. You have to learn what it means before you can actually say
That's
this.
right. That's right. It's a journey. We good for today?
Yes, unless you want to do something else. I don't know.
Well, yeah, well, you know, you hang out for another 2 minutes.
You can earn a little bit more for your mortgage.
I'm gonna start sweating here. You're gonna make me work hard today, aren't you? Okay. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, you missed last week, Instructor Bilal. You owe me an hour. Well, but you missed the week before that, so you owe me an hour. So now we're even. All right. But you know what? The audience that listens to us, when we don't have a class that week, they email me. Some of them call me. Instructor, I hate to interrupt your day, but what happened to learn a Mahdi today? So, well, yeah, you know. So that's a great thing you're doing. And I believe that's why Allah is rewarding your intelligence. You are a very intelligent young man, and he's beginning to also reward your intellect. Could I ever explain to you the difference between those two words? Intelligence and intellect.
Oh, intelligence. Intelligence is your ability to learn. In intellect is what you already know.
Switch it around.
So intelligence is what you know. Intellect is what you don't know, but you're gonna learn.
That's absolutely correct. That's right. Now, do you remember the way I broke it down with the word itself? Like elect, internal, election.
Your head.
What is election? What does that mean you're doing? When you elect something.
Voting.
You're voting. Yeah. You're choosing. You're making a choice. Where? Internally. Inside. That's right. Okay. So you have to be paying attention to what's out here in order to make a good choice. That's the elect, internal election, internal choosing, internal choice making. Okay. So what is intelligence?
Internal memory, knowledge.
Coming from where?
Yeah.
What's this gents thing? Where's that word from? You have internal, you have in, then you have tele, which means to communicate, like television, telegraph, telecom. It always means to communicate. But where's this communication, this internal communication coming from? What is this gents, G-E-N-C-E thing? What word is that from?
The teacher.
Look at the word. G-E-N-C-E. What does that suggest? G-E-N-E-S. What is that?
Genes?
Yeah.
Yo, your intelligence comes from your genes.
That's right. Now, we talking about the J-E-A-N-S, like blue jeans?
No.
What are we talking about? And how do you spell it?
Genes, genes. The type of genes that passed on from your mother, your father, grandparents.
E-N-E-S. And what's in those genes that make them so special?
DNA. Well, that's true.
You don't need me anymore. You're all right. I'll continue to earn my mortgage. I'll stay with you, even though you don't need me.
Gonna quit?
I'm not going. No. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. Or I think it's the other way around. Winners never quit. Quitters never win. I will never quit teaching you. I'm going to see you all the way through until you are standing in front of the internet on a call where hundreds of people are listening to you, and you'll be teaching them some of what I'm teaching you. And I still won't quit, not even after that. I'm going to teach you for life if Allah allows that. Is that okay with you?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might grow older and you might say, I'm tired of Instructor Bilal. I see him every week. I'm tired of learning. I mean, that might happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think you'll get tired of learning one day?
Well, it depends of what I'm learning. My interest,
Oh.
my
Mm-hmm.
my intelligence is tired right now. Intellect is tired right now.
You're getting fancy on me now, Mahdi. You're getting fancy on me. But I don't think you'll ever get tired of learning about nature.
No.
No, because you're going to always have something to contribute because you are a child of nature. You were born into nature. You're growing up on a farm and you know animals and plants and all of that. And that helps tremendously. And I'm learning from you. Like I told you the other week, I'm learning from you just like you're learning from me. I'm just in a better position to teach you right now. But one day, like I said, I'm predicting one day you will be teaching many people. And that's going to be a day of celebration. So with that said, my friend, I bid you adieu, which is just goodbye in French, I think. Okay. Until next week, inshallah. Any last minute words from you?
I know. Your mortgage is raised and goodbye.
Oh man. Okay, you got me. You got me. I'm going to pay it now. Now that I'm thinking about it. Now that I got all this dough from teaching you, I'm going to pay that mortgage, man. All right. And I'm going to meet you one day. Inshallah, I'm going to meet you one day. You're a bright young man, and I appreciate the time and attention that you pay to this information because this information for me is very important to pass on to people, especially in your age group. So as they say, stick and stay in there. All right. It's going to get challenging, more challenging than it is, but you have a great memory. And that means that it must mean something to you for you to commit it to memory the way you do. So with that said, I will see you this time next week, inshallah. As I greet you also with Salaam Alaykum.
Walaikum assalam.
All right.